Well, the Tamil Nadu governor or the Tamilnadu governor versus the Tamil Nadu chief minister. This fight is only escalating. Earlier in the day, while speaking to a group of IAS officers and cadre, the Tamilnadu governor, R.N. Ravi, turned around and told them that, listen, you're all appointed by the centre and you've got to implement the centre.
Never be critical of Government of India policy. At the same time, when you are defending the Government of India policy, you should not be sounding as a rabid defender in the sense that any policy which is framed is a policy for the society, framed by the human being. There is always room for improvement. However, no policy is a 100% distilled, foolproof policy. If it is between the central government and the state government, you should not have any doubt, central government, because you are being chosen for the central government, civil servant of the union government, not of the state government. But if it is a matter of policy, there should not be any confusion. If there is a difference between the central government and the state government, you are there to stand by the central government.
வரலாற்றே இல்லாத மாதிரி நம்முடைய தலைவர் ஒரு சம்பவம் செஞ்சிருக்கிறாரு. பொதுவா தலைவர் அவர்கள் தன்னுடைய பதிலில் கொண்டு வருகின்ற அறிவிப்புகள் எதிர்க்கட்சிகளை தான் ஓட விடுவார். இன்று நம்முடைய ஆளுநரையே ஓட விட்டார் நம்முடைய தலைவர் அவர்கள். அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு முதலமைச்சர், தமிழ்நாட்டு முதலமைச்சர், உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், தினமும் மக்களுக்காக பணிகள், மக்களுக்கான அந்த திட்டங்களை கொண்டு வருதல், அதே நேரத்தில் நம்முடைய உரிமைகள் பறிபோனால் அதற்கு குரல் கொடுக்கும் இந்தியாவிலே நம்பர் 1 முதலமைச்சர் என்றால் நம்முடைய தலைவர் அவர்கள் தான். அவருக்கு நீங்கள் எல்லாம், இளைஞர்கள் எல்லாம் நீங்கள் துணை நிற்க வேண்டும், உங்களுடைய ஆதரவை கொடுக்க வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டுக்கொண்டு, தலைவர்களுடைய இந்த தன்னம்பிக்கையும் உழைப்பும் போல் நம் ஒவ்வொருவரும் நம்முடைய அந்த தன்னம்பிக்கை பெறுவோம் என்று கேட்டுக்கொண்டு,
Should the government of the day and the political party leading the government take pride and try and claim what is actually an insult, technically an insult to the governor and his office, as making the governor run away or walk out? Joining us now is the former Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, Kiran Bedi ji. Kiran ji, Namaste, Jai Hind. Thank you very, very much. Let me straight ask you this. Way the governor, Ravi ji, is being put under pressure in Tamil Nadu, is it like deja vu for you?
No, I'm not surprised. This doesn't come as a surprise at all. Because this has been happening and continues to happen, and you cannot rule it out even for the future. Because whenever there are two kinds of thinking, one thinking in the government of India, one policy in the government of India, and another policy of a particular state government. And where there's a conflict, governor comes under a stress. So he or she is under stress. Now he or she has to answer his own conscience. What is he doing? Why is he doing? Who is it for?
Ji.
And people are the judge. So I'm not surprised by what Ravi is going through, because it's not for the first time and it's not for the last time.
Now, Kiran ji, I remember they dressed you up like Hitler and they made posters and said, go back Kiran Bedi in Puducherry. Political parties seem to have an axe to grind with a governor who doesn't toe the line of the government.
Yes, or not toe the line. Maybe they are not thinking alike. There's no alignment of thinking. There's no commonality of ground. They're very strong divergence of ways to approach a situation. That's the reason. And the governor, being an appointee of the president, and as per the law, has enormous kinds of discretions. So if the discretion which he has exercised is in tandem with the elected government, he's fine. But if it isn't, then he has to be agitated against go back.
Kiran ji, let me ask you, is it imperative for the governor to read the entire portion of the speech as agreed upon between the governor's office and the state government?
No, it isn't. To my knowledge, it isn't. I found it also very embarrassing when a speech was sent to me.
Ji.
It was stating things in a very exaggerated way. And what is important is to answer my own conscience as a governor, as Ravi is experiencing. That when the governor makes that speech, even if it's written by the state government, it has to be, by the way, approved by the governor.
Ji.
I had to approve that. Now, what do I approve? Something which I don't believe in? Something which I think is not principally correct, or ethically or morally right, or factually not right? Now, that's my choice. I think it isn't. So when my thinking is not in a tandem, in alignment with the elected, obviously there'll be... Now, if I read what they say, I'm bound by that because this government of the governor has said it on the floor of the House. That means, how does he go back? They can go back to the government of India to say, well, your governor said it. It's a part of his speech. So it's very, very difficult answer call of the conscience, which the governor does. Does he read like a parrot, or does he apply his mind? And the governor, nowhere in the Constitution says governor is a parrot.
Well, that's true.
Governor is not a parrot. He has a mind of his own, position of his own, responsibility of his own.
Correct. The governor's office has a mind of its own. But is the governor not allowed to express their point of view, Kiranji? That becomes one question. Is it okay to try and malign the governor, mock the governor, insult the governor? Because it's the might of a majority government. And then, of course, it's a political party, so the cadre is involved, their entire machinery, mechanism is involved, all of that comes into play. Then does the governor and the governor's office actually feel isolated? Because you are in a constitutional post, you cannot take the help of any particular political entity or any mechanism. So does the Raj Bhavan then feel isolated because there is nobody technically to defend Raj Bhavan and the governor? The governor has to do it themselves.
That's the choice the governor makes. Now, he's the constitutional guardian as well. He's the guardian of the constitution, appointed by the president, and reports to the president. Now, what is politics and what is constitutional is entirely his discretion. So every discretion is two sides of the same coin. And that's why you're having a problem. Now, he alone is answerable to his own conscience and then answerable to the president. So it's for the president to judge whether the governor has acted as a guardian of the constitution to which he has sworn has taken an oath to. And he's a representative of the president.
Yes, he is. The governor is a representative of the president, but is it a lone battle? And the other aspect is, in this case, I'm sure you're seeing the developments. Has Governor Ravi conducted himself ably? Because there are two aspects. One is what he says or what his opinion is, and there can be different positions on that. The other part is what he and his office are doing. The allegation that's been made by the DMK-led government is that he's holding on to bills, nearly 20 plus of them, which the government has passed in the Vidhan Sabha. But it is stuck at the governor's office. And I'm sure you've faced a situation like this in the past. So let me ask you, what is happening here?
He's answering his own conscience, and he alone can explain case-wise. It cannot be generic. Every bill if he's holding on to, everything which he thinks he's altering, he alone knows why. And if the interest is uppermost, the sovereignty, the integrity of the country is uppermost, he will be he's right. But if it is doubtful and if it's suspect, he alone is accountable. But remember, he enjoys immunity. Governors enjoy immunity.
But because governors enjoy immunity, can they actually take a position? Are they actually doing their job as constitutional heads? Do they follow the diktat of the center? Do they follow what the state government wants them? Are they caught in a bind? These are all aspects that stand out. But you are saying that the governor reports to the president. So does the president and the president's office know of what is happening with every governor or LG in every state and union territory?
They report to the president of India. He sends a monthly report to the president of India. monthly. So president receives a monthly report from every governor or a lieutenant governor, depending on the situation. So the governor, he's not sending a report to the executive, he's sending a report to the president of India.
So the governor is sending a report to the President of India, Kiranji, you're saying, and it's a monthly report. So every month, whatever is happening, the President's office is made aware that this is the status. I know you have a flight to catch, Kiranji, so thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. Namaste, and always a pleasure to speak with you. So Kiran Bedi, the former LG, who was also portrayed as Hitler by the then Congress government at that time, they also said, go back Kiran Bedi. Those campaigns were run against her. Let's just quickly bring you up to speed as what was said and why is this situation of the Tamil governor versus the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister that's happening. Interestingly, that even Stalin used the word Tamil till about 6:30 on the very day when the governor made the Tamil reference, and then after they have removed it. So government follows ideals of Periyar, Kamarajar, Anna and Karunanidhi. This they wanted to state. So, but he didn't read the speech prepared by the government, approved by him. Because once again, that's what Kiran Bedi also said. If the governor read that out, that means the governor has assigned a stamp of authority and said this is the Dravidian model and authorized it because it will be there in the floor of the house. So he didn't do that. Government delivering Dravidian model of governance is one more part. The governor acted against our principles and the government. But can a governor actually say Dravidian model of governance? What is that Dravidian model of governance, and should he endorse it as a constitutional position? Highest priority to maintenance of law and order, saddening against the tradition of the assembly. But was the tradition of the assembly followed? Was the national anthem played? Was the governor given due respect? Many questions. Steps to ensure a state, a haven of peace and tranquility. Violation of the legislative traditions by the governor. But were the legislative provisions followed by the state itself? Is mocking the governor all right? We leave you with these questions tonight on The Right Stand. Thank you very much. Zakar ready with brass tacks.